Have you ever looked at the skyline of a major city and wondered what lies beneath the concrete? While the world is focused on the latest stock market crash or the rising cost of living, the people who actually own the system are looking at a different set of data points. They aren't buying gold, they aren't buying Bitcoin, they are buying safety. But not the kind of safety a gated community provides. We are talking about $500 million subterranean fortresses hidden in the most remote corners of the planet. In the next 20 minutes, we're pulling back the curtain on the billionaire bunker phenomenon. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a massive infrastructure project happening in real time. Right now, in the plains of Kansas, in the forests of New Zealand, and deep within the mountains of the American West, the global elite are constructing a second civilization. A civilization that is designed to survive when ours, inevitably, fails. We will explore the secret contracts signed by Silicon Valley titans, the high-tech life support systems that cost more than small cities, and why the people who built the future are the most afraid of what it holds. If you think this is about a simple storm shelter, you have no idea how deep the hole actually goes. Why are they doing this? Why would a man who controls a trillion-dollar empire spend his weekends touring abandoned missile silos? The answer is the great disconnection. The ultra-rich have realized that the digital wealth we discussed in our last investigation, the ghost portfolios, is only useful as long as the power stays on. In a world of increasing social unrest, climate instability, and the potential for a global cyber attack, the elite are moving their value from the cloud to the ground. Take the Survival Condo project in Kansas. This is a former Atlas missile silo buried 15 stories underground. It's built to withstand a direct nuclear strike. Inside, it doesn't look like a bunker. It looks like a five-star hotel. There are swimming pools, hydroponic gardens that produce fresh vegetables, and digital windows that simulate a sunny day in the Swiss Alps, even if the world above is in total darkness. The cost of a single floor? $3 million, and they're already sold out. But for the true A-list billionaires, a shared silo isn't enough. They want total isolation. This is why New Zealand has become the ultimate escape hatch for the elite. In the last 5 years, billions of dollars in private capital have flowed into remote properties in the South Island. These aren't vacation homes, they are autonomous zones. They have their own power grids, their own water filtration systems, and their own private security forces. When the event happens, the term the elite use to describe a global systemic collapse, these individuals don't plan on being in a boardroom. They plan on being halfway around the world, protected by thousands of miles of ocean and mountains. The complexity of these structures is mind-blowing. We are talking about blast doors that weigh 20 tons but can be moved with the touch of a finger. We are talking about air filtration systems that can scrub out biological agents and medical suites that are more advanced than the best hospitals in New York. But the most expensive part of the bunker isn't the steel or the concrete, it's the human element. How do you ensure your security team stays loyal when the money they're being paid becomes worthless? This is the question that haunts the elite. We have reports of billionaires discussing shock collars or smart locks that only the owner can open. They are terrified that the very people they hire to protect them will be the ones who take over the bunker when the world ends. This is the dark side of the survivalist dream. It's not just about surviving a disaster, it's about surviving the people you need to stay alive. Before we dive into the specific floor plans of the Mark Zuckerberg estate in Hawaii, which reportedly includes a 5,000 square foot underground bunker, I need you to realize something. The people building these shelters are the same people who tell you that everything is fine. They are the same people who control the algorithms that dictate what you see. If they are preparing for the worst, why aren't you? If you want more of these investigations to survive the censors, if you want the truth about what the 1% are really doing with their fortunes, hit that Rumble button right now. Your support is the only reason we can afford to dig this deep. Rumble is where the truth lives, and your vote keeps it alive. Now, let's look at the island strategy. It's not just about being underground, it's about being sovereign. Many of these bunkers are located in territories where the owner has effectively purchased the government's cooperation. They aren't just building a house, they're building a kingdom. From the Vivos network in Europe to the private islands of the Caribbean, the elite are creating a geography of safety that the rest of us simply cannot access. They are moving the pieces on a chessboard that most people don't even know exists. But the real secret isn't where the bunkers are, it's how they're being funded. Remember the ghost portfolios from our last video? Much of that invisible wealth is being liquidated to pay for these projects. Because in a real crisis, a digital number in a Swiss bank won't save you. A 10-foot thick wall of reinforced concrete will.
Let's talk about the specific blueprints of the most powerful people on the planet. Take Mark Zuckerberg's massive estate in Kauai, a project known as Koolau Ranch. On the surface, it looks like a sprawling agricultural compound. But reports from those who have seen the plans describe something much more intense. Beneath the lush tropical landscape lies a 5,000-square-foot underground shelter, complete with its own energy and food supplies. The doors are made of metal and filled with concrete, a design typically found in bomb shelters. Why would a man who built the metaverse, a world of digital escape, spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a physical fortress in the middle of the Pacific? The answer is simple. Zuckerberg knows that the digital world is a house of cards, and when the cards fall, he wants to be standing on solid ground, behind a blast-proof door. But he isn't alone. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Peter Thiel, they all have their own versions of the end-of-the-world insurance policy. In the Silicon Valley inner circles, this is known as the event. It's not a question of if it happens, but when. They are prepping for a total breakdown of the social contract. They are installing facial recognition systems not to log into their phones, but to guard their perimeters against the very people they used to call customers. They are hiring former special forces operators to manage their security, offering them spots for their families in the bunker as the ultimate form of payment. This is the new currency of the elite: survival. Now, let's shift our gaze to Europe, specifically to the Vivos network. This is a company that specializes in luxury survival. They have converted a massive Soviet-era underground complex in Germany into what they call Europa One. It is built into a solid limestone mountain, and it is designed to survive a close-range nuclear blast, a direct airplane crash, biological and chemical agents, and even massive flooding. Inside, the suites are more luxurious than most penthouses in Paris or London. They have wine cellars, private cinemas, and art galleries. They even have DNA vaults to preserve the genetic information of the world's most valuable families. It is, quite literally, a modern-day Noah's Ark for the 1%. Imagine the psychology of a person who spends their life building a world that they are simultaneously preparing to hide from. There is a massive irony here. The same technology that allows us to be connected is being used to build the ultimate walls of separation. These bunkers aren't just physical structures. They are the physical manifestation of the ghost portfolios we discussed before. They are the final stage of the elite's withdrawal from society. They have the wealth, they have the resources, and now they have the high ground. As we reach the final minutes of this investigation, you have to ask yourself, what do they know that I don't? The sheer scale of these projects suggests that this isn't just about paranoia. This is a calculated risk assessment by the smartest, most well-informed people on Earth. They have access to data streams that the public will never see. They have simulations that predict the collapse of the power grid, the failure of the food supply, and the end of the global financial system. They aren't building these bunkers because they like living underground. They are building them because they believe they will soon have no other choice. So, where does this leave the rest of us? If the people who own the world are leaving it, what happens to the world they leave behind? This is the question that should keep you awake at night. But remember, awareness is your first line of defense. By understanding their plans, you can start to make your own. You don't need a $500 million bunker to be prepared, but you do need to stop believing the narrative that everything is business as usual. Before we end this episode, I have one final secret to share. There is a specific location, a dead zone in the middle of the ocean, where a group of billionaires is reportedly building a floating city. A city that exists outside of any national jurisdiction, with its own laws and its own currency. We are currently gathering the evidence for this investigation. It's a story so big and so dangerous that it might be the last one we ever tell. If you want to be the first to see that report, you know what to do. Hit the Rumble button. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the Billionaire escape plan, and make sure your notifications are turned on. The algorithm may try to hide us, but with your support, the truth will always find a way to the surface. The world is changing faster than most people can process. The elite have already made their move. They are moving from the clouds to the bunkers, from the public to the private, from the visible to the hidden. Don't be the last one to realize the game has changed. I am the rich and the hidden, and this was the truth about the billionaire bunkers. Stay safe, stay informed, and never, ever stop questioning the walls they build around you. We will see you in the next investigation, if the power is still on.